Now, those who watch this show regularly, you know this is generally where we put Tanner's chirp tasting. Well, actually, we're going to be spinning that off. So check your feeds on Friday, and you'll be able to see Tanner's chirp tasting as its own whole segment thing. So check it out. We've got a great jar, Ope solventless. And Marcus, while you're here, you are, I think, the best smeller, sniffer maybe, of our entire podcast. And can I have you smell this jar and let me know what you think about it? All right, there you go. So this is Ope. You can check that video on Friday. Check our feeds on Friday. You can see our full Tanner's chirp tasting of that. But let's do some Marcus chirp smelling.
Smells like lemon deodorant.
I love it. Well, hear what others think of Ope gaseous mentalities. Check that on Friday. You can get the video, or you can check your audio feeds. It will be there as well. All right, guys. should we do our high note for the week?
I think so.
Our way that we end out every episode. You guys know by this point because you watch every week. What is the high note? It is our positive thing, our thing we thought of while we were stoned. Just something from the week, where we just share a little bit of our high note. Oh my goodness! All right, we've now been joined in the studio by Kale of the Dabbler Depot, holding a can of the Northern Lights beverage. Yeah, this is from Liam. Oh my God! Shout out to Liam, huge friend of the pod.
Code.
Wow. I haven't seen one of these in a long time.
So Liam was cleaning out either his or his parents' fridge. His parents are brand reps for a brewery in town, so they got a lot of stuff in their fridge. And he found that in the bottom of it and decided to bring it in. So I've had it in the back, and I just saw it. I was like, oh, I got to bring this to Tanner. So
wow.
Yeah. Blast from the past.
Blast from the past.
I don't know if that's the advertisement I want it to be, but
that's so cool. So I actually haven't seen a filled can of these in 6 months, probably, if not longer than that. Because I have a lot of empty ones of them that sit on my shelves or on my desk at work or whatever be it. But wow.
Put that one on the shelf.
Or do we want to?
I don't know. I have multiple cans of different iterations of Hams cans in my garage still filled. And they're just like up like where my old saw blades are because I'm a good old Midwest boy like that. But like,
that's cool.
If you want to crack it, it's your juice, buddy.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I want it to be like a time capsule.
That's what I
put it on a shelf and then like a year from now open it. Or actually, we'll probably keep it in the fridge because,
I like the nostalgia feel.
Wow.
Such a beautiful design.
Cool. Shout out Liam.
Is that a high note? Thanks,
Such
Liam.
a cool design. The Northern Lights turned into the microphone. Shout out Modest for the great work on that one.
Crushed it.
Absolutely crushed it. Wow. Yeah, that is my high note from the week. It was a great week. I had a lot of really positive stuff. It was good. But I was going to do some bit about like what recipes do you guys recommend? But I like this better. Yeah, shout out to all the people that made this possible. Andy over at Modest for helping to get that done. The people that helped to get it out. Our buddy Sam Milstein. I think the only reason that it was at the Dabbler Depot was because of that guy. So shout out to him. Yeah, it was a fun one. Marcus, did you get a chance to drink those when it was out?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I bought some at the release party.
It was I'm almost certain of this. I believe it was Modest's fastest sold out beverage in their entire history, which I think is pretty cool. It was gone in less than a week.
So why was it a limited run?
Should we bring it back?
Yeah.
Wow.
Seasonal. Let's make it a special edition. Seasonal. Every winter. Winter is when the Northern Lights come out for the most part. So
maybe that's what we tie it to. Is anytime you can see the Northern Lights in the Twin Cities, we do a run of the Northern Lights beverage. I don't know. All right. Well, so wow. Shout out Liam. Shout out Kale. That's pretty cool.
That's fun.
That's going in the fridge, and that will sit there for I don't know how long. We'll have to find a special date to crack that one open.
We'll save it for a big day.
Yeah. All right. Well, what do you guys? What are your high notes from the week?
Well, on Monday I had an arraignment.
Yeah, how did that
And-
go?
Well, they called me last in the Zoom court hearing, and I was arrested in May 27th in the midnight hour by an officer named Morgan Attenberger in Glencoe, Minnesota. And
Not
they
a friend of the
falsely
podcast.
accused me of driving while impaired because they smelled cannabis. And yeah. So it ended up them not detecting anything, so I was proven innocent. But they charged me with cannabis open package because I had a Puffco pen in my pocket,
Oh my god.
which had a dead battery. So the good news is that they reduced that misdemeanor to a petty misdemeanor. Bad news is that I got charged and convicted at all, but it's like a traffic offense. But yeah, I still want to sue them for the wrongful arrest, but I did not get a DWI, so that's my high note.
That, you know what? That is a good high note.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's fucking insane that it is a legal state. This happened after legalization. This happened
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
the smell of cannabis being a probable cause for searching a car was not allowed. And yet still, because you had cannabis on you, you're a criminal for that.
Yeah, legal-ish.
Well, and that's the thing is, if it was in like a sealed package, it would have been fine. But excuse me, where can we buy sealed packages of cannabis in Minnesota right now? Literally nowhere.
Exactly.
Literally
it wasn't
nowhere.
even purchased.
Mm.
And it was inside of a vape pen. I didn't even know there was any concentrate in the pen.
Insane.
Like, the shit was dead in my pocket.
Yeah. Well, Glencoe Police Department, if you want to come in the podcast, no. There we
Well, I would be down to interview the so-called drug recognition expert named Chase.
There we go.
Chase, what the fuck was his last name? Anyway,
I don't mean this
Chase
negatively
from
towards
Floyd County.
any Chases out there, but Chase sounds like a name that can't handle big dabs.
Yeah, he was trying to persuade me in the back seat of the squad car to do the little pilot test thing where they throttle it in the mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Chase Karsten.
Wow, what a great video.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Nobody.
Nope. No, thank you. Not going to participate in your
It's
study.
pseudoscientific.
Which, by the way, not to do the news during the high note part, but that study is now over, and it is now up to the legislature whether they want to extend it. And I hope that the government is just broken and paused enough that this is how it dies. It's just with government incompetence.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Well, on that high note, Jordan, what was your high note from the week?
Exciting news in the household over here is that my partner has recently started nursing school, in-person nursing
That's
school.
cool.
And it's a big adjustment, big routine shift, big change. And obviously there's growing pains that come with making a big difference and a big shift in your life. And I think she's been feeling that. And my high note is essentially just like, if you're feeling like you're being overwhelmed, chances are you're doing a little bit of growing.
Yeah.
It's okay to be uncomfortable as long as you know what direction you might be heading. And I've just been kind of having to be not having to be, but happily being the steadfast partner here during a time of, tumultuous routine shifts. And I've just kind of been repeating to her is like, this is a good thing. The feelings you're feeling, it means you're pushing yourself in the direction you feel you've needed to be pushed. So
Absolutely.
it's maybe it's less of a high note, more of a point of encouragement to anybody who might be feeling a little bit of growing pains. It's okay. Growing pains means you're growing.
Yeah.
I had a therapist one time that said to me, if someone says to you, you've changed in like a negative way, you can say to them, we're supposed to.
Right.
That's what we do.
Thank you.
People, and
Thanks for
we
noticing.
grow. And shout out to her for growing. That's pretty cool.
She's a rock. She's an all-star. I am inspired by her every day. So shout out to the wifey.
Do you think she wants to come and do big dabs on the podcast?
She wouldn't come within 35 feet of our dabs.
That's super fair. That's super fair. Well, I like that high note. That was a good one.
Thanks, guys.
I feel like we got a we got a little bit of the nostalgia. We got a little bit of like that positive freedom. We got a little bit of like the supporting people. I think it's a well-rounded high note.
What else are we here to do other than uplift, encourage, and feel?
We're here to improve, adapt, and overcome. Or whatever that
Deny,
means.
defend.
All right. We're going to talk about this, and this is how we'll go out. I went to a Tipper concert last week. Shout out Snowda. It was super fun. First concert I ever went to that started at 1 a.m.
A Tipper concert?
Yeah.
What is that?
So Tipper is an electronic artist. He played at a concert called Snowda. It actually started at like 7 p.m., but then it went to like 2 a.m. So I wasn't going to be there the whole time. In fact, this was right after that last episode that we recorded. So I went there. Super great concert. Incredible. But one of the artists that opened up that I can't remember the name of right now, and I apologize really badly, started with different audio clips of newscasters going, Duned, defy, depose. Defend, and then it broke into like a beat, and that was the drop. And I had my buddy Aaron, who was standing next to me during that, and he shouted, "This goes to all my uninsured homies." And yeah, that felt real. So I had that video clip. Should we put it in?
Yeah, send it along.
We'll put it in. So deny, defend, depose. All right. Well, that's all we got for today, guys. I mean, that was a good episode. That was a fun one.
Thank you.
We'll be in your feeds next week on Tuesday, but of course, we'll also be in your feeds this Friday. We've got Tanner's Chirp Tasting now as a separate segment. Check us on YouTube. Check us on Spotify, podcasts, whatever you want to, all those places. If you find a podcast there, you'll probably find us there. And if you don't, let us know because we want to be there. But in the meantime, you can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And make sure to subscribe. Share with a friend. Crack a can of Northern Lights.
If you still have it.
If you still have them. And we'll be back next week. Thanks all. Northern Lights is a Minnesota Cannabis College production. This episode was produced by me, Tanner Barris, and by Steve Eigenman and Jordan Whiff. Production assistance from Marcus Harkis, Shayna Payton, and John Barty. Video and audio recording at the Dabbler Depot studio by Jordan Whiff. The information provided in this podcast does not, and is not intended to, constitute legal advice, but is instead for general information purposes only. No listener should act solely on the basis of information provided without first seeking advice from their own legal counsel. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Minnesota Cannabis College. Please listen responsibly.